Hello, everyone. Welcome to Introduction to Grading. My name is Scotty Gex, and I'll be your instructor in this course as well as the hydraulics course. Just want to go over a couple of things before we get started next week or on the 8th, whenever that is. And we'll talk a little bit about the course, and then we're going to take a peek at the syllabus. I think some of you have in hydraulics are have looked at a video that talks about the syllabus, but we want to be sure that you understand what's going on in that syllabus and what those things mean. So we'll go over it briefly. Little document I got up here. It's kind of talking about what the course is going to be about. First of all, it's called Introduction to Grading. The course code is GR101. It's a 10-week course, and it's the summer 2024 term. We need to. I got to make this a little bigger. There. Most important practice we can do during this course is to communicate. We can't help each other unless we ask each other or notify each other that we need help. So be sure, and if you get hung up, don't sit there and worry about things. Just contact me or your other instructors if it has to do with another course, and we can get things straightened out and keep this thing moving. That is essential to be successful in this course, is communicating with your instructor and your instructor communicating with you. We're going to go over most of the things I'll talk about here in these bullet points, starting out with basic grade setting, and I'm talking about cut and fill stakes. Some of you with experience may have a background in this and know how to do it, but we're going to take it to a different level. We're going to learn how to calculate and determine grades such as slopes and gradients. We'll talk about plan reading a little bit in this course. In excavation 101, we will get more into plan reading, but we will take a peek at topographic site plans and some things like that. When you leave here, you need to know how to interpret grade stakes from all the way from a simple cut and fill to an offset to single and double line reference to slope stakes, they're called. Those stakes are include a ton of information on them. They tell you how to get from the left and the right side of the say a roadway. It takes you all the way to the directions on what you need to do to get to the center line of the roadway, let's say. That'll be on one side. On the other side, directly across from that reference stake, there'll be another one looking at each other, and it'll tell you how to get from that stake on maybe the left side of the road all the way to the center line. So these are essential highway survey stakes, and you need to know them, and you will know them. You probably had some differential leveling in your past, or if you're in a certificate program in Georgia or Oklahoma City or California, I'm sure you were exposed to this. We'll touch on it if we need to, and not if we don't. We're focused on principles here, and we'll talk a little bit about the different grading operations, the process you go through to build a slope, build a fill slope. It just doesn't magically appear there. There's a way to do it, and we'll talk about that in detail. Look, maybe some vertical curves, profiles and vertical curves, more in the other course, Excavation 101. We get into that. Planning. Catch basins, if we have time, we may set some stakes for a catch basin. Definitely subgrade for a road cross section. You'll know how to do that. Let's see what else is here. It's going to be a little bit overwhelming for some of you that's never really had a really good course in survey or grade setting. But trust me, it's really not that hard. It's just new. So hang in there with me, and we'll get through this, not just get through it, but we'll know something when we come out on the other end. These principles are super important, as all of the automated grade control system are based on these principles. All the GPS, the uh, base station, the antenna, the rover, all of that kind of stuff is based on these principles. Nothing has changed since the pyramids. That's an old saying. They still build things the same way they did then. All of the leverage and rigging and crane stuff is based on what they came up with building those pyramids. So hang in there with us and we'll see what we can get done here. Now, get this guy out of the way. Uh, I want to zip over here to module one. Module one is mostly introduction and has a course overview. You want to read that. This video will probably be stuck right here, and by the time you see the video, you'll already be here. And this is again week one, and it's mostly about meeting your instructor, making sure you got your textbooks, some things like that. But I would like to point out a few things here. This is the basic format of a week. Here's week two. We're not going to let you start on the subsequent weeks until you finish the week that you are in. We don't want people working all over this course. It's too hard to keep up with. So we'll finish week one. And once we get that done, we will publish week two and so on and so forth. So be sure uh, look at this tailgate here. The tailgate is a discussion between you and your cohorts. If we take a look in here, I'm not sure. This will tell you about the discussion, what I expect of you. It'll tell you how many posts you need to do, when to post, and it'll tell you some basic rules about what we're expecting of you in these tailgates. So be sure that you take a look at that, which brings me back to, let's go to the course modules again and take a look at this big blue button. We don't use it much, but it's synchronous learning. In other words, it's like Canvas's Zoom. So we may use that. Uh, be sure and read this tailgate overview because it goes in depth of what we expect in the tailgate discussions. And this is our first discussion right here, and it's basically introducing ourselves. We'll have a little quiz over the grade syllabus in week one, and there's a practice on submission. It gives you a chance to, like you finished a homework or something like that, an assignment, and you want to submit it back into Canvas. So this shows you how to do that and let you practice it a little bit. And then we ask that you complete this pre-test. It doesn't matter. Your grade on here is not significant, and other than the fact that we will compare it on your post test, which is at the end of the course. So if you don't do so well on this and you haven't got a background in grades, that's to be expected, but you'll get 100 points for just doing it. So do it. It helps us assess where you are now and what we need to do to get you where you need to be. There's going to be some more videos coming up to discuss these. These require a lot of videos. They're very abstract, and you need pictures and me talking to you to begin to understand this stuff that you're about to embark on. Uh, if you haven't got a background in it already. So be prepared for that, and I'll throw up plenty of videos to talk you through this because to some of you it's going to be very, very new. Let me go to the home. I'm going to try to go through this syllabus right quick. It's going to be the same one you saw in the, I believe, pretty much the same. Now, just same old contact, same old me. Scotty Gex, the instructor. Use the phone. Sometimes it's just the easiest, the quickest. If you do use Canvas Inbox, which is Canvas's email, internal email, it's very good, very reliable. But if you tell me you're having trouble with the tailgate, Okay, I got two courses going on. I need to know the tailgate in which course and the tailgate in not only which course, but which week in that course, right? If you're having trouble with the assignment in week 4, I need to know you're in week 4, the assignment is week 4, and then tell me what kind of trouble you're having. Don't just say I'm hung up on the tailgate, because the tailgates will be all over the place. I've got a little information on what we're calling. We're going to start Monday the 8th. We're going to stop on the 15th of September. This is an online program, so we don't really. Uh, the only significance of the campus location was when you get to grades will have an in-person segment, which is 30 hours of hands-on training sometime after the midterm, sometime after the 5th week. We don't have those dates yet, but they'll be doing where you'll be required to go to the campus of where you enrolled, like Georgia or Oklahoma City or California, for in-person training. So, but we'll have those dates up shortly after the halfway point, so you can prepare for it. This is Instructure.com. That's the company that built Canvas or controls it. Site preparation, the course description, and introduces the process of preparing surfaces with heavy equipment for future construction. In other words, that's called site prep. So part of that process is setting grade stakes so that the heavy equipment operators will know where the dirt needs to be, whether it's a slope, trench, or what has to happen. And this is the only prerequisite that I have for you, is the ability to manage time and ask for help when needed. That's so important. Outcomes of what you should need learn after the first week of the I'm sorry by the end of this course. Identify and demonstrate proper use of grade setting instruments. We'll really only be using a hand level, honestly, throughout this thing, except during the in-person training, where we will break out the engineer level and the laser and so forth to expedite things. I have down the excavation and grading handbook, but honestly, I don't know if we're going to order that, and if whether we do or not, we don't need. You don't really need a textbook for this course. Most of the stuff is things that I put together myself, but I'll have one handy, and I have one in PDF form if we need to take a look at some things. This is basically like your quizzes. I give a 15% weight to them. These weights are how important they are to me and consequently to you. Essay assignments, that's when I ask you maybe a question about to expand on some kind of topic, like, your thoughts on some things. Those are really, really important. And they're better than multiple choice quizzes on assessing what you know and don't know. So I'll have a few of those kind. They're 20 weighted at 25%, and this course will add up to 100. Here's the letter grade equivalents down through here. Hopefully we'll all stay up in this range. That'll be the goal. Some important things that I have gone over maybe already, but you need to have access to Chrome for your search engine when you're doing test, any kind of test, because we do remote proctoring, and the app we use is called Proctorio, and it requires Chrome. None of these other uh, search engines will work. Okay, you can call Canvas. Call me though, and I might be able to help you. Canvas is good at giving you some directions, but let me know, and we might be just move on without skipping a beat. There is a student orientation. It may be in the module. I forgot. I went right past it. I'll try to remember to look and see if it is, but it's a video on using Canvas. Read all of these. Attendance is an important one. You must participate in some kind of learning activity at least once a week. It could be online discussion, such as the tailgate. It could be an essay test, but my preference, I'd rather see you participate in the tailgate. There will usually be a quiz, an assignment, and a tailgate. You'll have 3 opportunities of learning activities in most of the weeks that we do here. So that's the way we know you participated. Uh, you can read through our objective, our mission, and things like that. So I won't take up your time. This is called online etiquette, how to be respectful and things like that. Uh, because we don't have nonverbal cues. You know, that clarity is real important when you're in that online environment because you can't look at the person's eyes and say this guy doesn't really know. You know, when contacted me, I prefer to be addressed as Mr. J, and Mr. J is no longer teaching this program, so you're back to me, and you can call me Scotty or Mr. Gex. That'll be fine. I need to get that changed. I'll do that. If you send me a message in Canvas, I'll get back to you. Let me put it that way. If I don't and you're in a hurry and you're stuck, give me a phone call. Sometimes we can get it done in 5 minutes. Makeup tests are not accepted. You can see there's an asterisk there. It depends on the situation. Read this and understand these our rules on this. If you're late, it's going to cost you 10% of your score per day. Now, you may be willing to take a few zeros just because you don't want to do the work. They're going to add up. A zero added into your average really makes a negative difference. So complete your assignments. You're not here to make an impression. You're here to make a difference. Just remember that, you know. Some of you are going to have really high grades and that's going to look real good, but some of you are going to really learn what you're doing. And when you hit that ground at that job site, you're going to be making a difference, not just an impression. Acceptable behavior, you grown-ups, I don't think I need to tell you how to behave. This has to do with your right to privacy, and it has to do with, it's called family education rights. Anything you don't understand, you can go to our catalog link here and go back over. And veterans, I don't have anything to do with that. Daryl Woodrum, he is probably the man you talk to when you enrolled here, or uh, Mr. Scott Lester, I think, is another perhaps, and if you came through Oklahoma City. So those guys can help you, and if you can't get a hold of them, get a hold of me. I can get a hold of him. And I want to remind you that it's not my way or the highway all the time. We do have a grievance policy here. If you and I have some friction or can't get along, or you have a complaint with me and it can't get resolved just between you and I, then you can go over my head by go to this grievance policy, and it'll tell you the steps to take to get resolution. I don't think we'll have to do that, but if need be, you do have that alternative for sure. Uh, these are where your assignments are going to show up, but instead of just trying to, I don't want you clicking down here because it's not going to be published. This is just to let you know these things are coming up, and I don't think they have dates by them. As I start bringing them up to date, they will probably get dates put on them, due dates and things like that. The best thing to do is know that when you finish week 1, the next thing you're going to do is what? Week 2. And I'm going to see that you can't see week 2 until you finish week 1. So just week 1, week 2, week 3, etc., and on through that. That's probably all we need to know about the syllabus. What was I going to do? I was going to look at the modules. Was I? Yes. And the reason I was going to do that was to see if we have a big blue button. That's important. We may use that. That's a synchronous thing, like it's Canvas version of Zoom. But I don't see the what do you call it? Canvas instruction. Using Canvas as a student is what it is. If anybody would like to see that video, let me know. Or you can go to YouTube and just put in the search using Canvas as a student, and you'll get the same a video that I used to have up here, and it may be in the hydraulics course. Some of you are in both courses. Okay, I'm going to shut that down. let you get back to whatever you're doing. Again, we start on Monday, the 8th of July, and we end on the 15th of September. And all the times in between, I'm here for you, and I want you to be here for me. Remember, learning is an active process, it's not passive.